Hi, I'm Phil Gravestock from the University of Gloucestershire. I'm going to be talking about the Graduate Recruitment Intelligence project, GRI project. And we're working with Olive Don Limited, as a local company. It's based primarily on the HEAR, the Higher Education Achievement Report. Gloucestershire has been involved in the HEAR project as one of the, what's now called Wave 1 institutions. It was one of the original 18 pilots that have been involved in this. There's been another Wave 2 with, I think, another 13 or so institutions have joined. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the Higher Education Achievement Report, I better briefly explain what it actually does. The idea is it's a sort of enhanced transcript that will be building on the European Diploma Supplement with some additional details. And in particular, there's going to be more detail about the assessment activities that students have undertaken. So instead of on a transcript just having a module mark, the idea is that the module will be broken down into the assessment components, and those marks will also be produced. The other difference compared to the European Diploma Supplement is that there's also going to be a section for co-curricular type activities or extra activities. And the whole aim of this part of the process is to try and get employers to think about sort of employability skills in general, in a broader way, rather than just filtering with a sort of 2-1, 2-2 first sort of approach. So the section 6.1 that contains this additional information will contain things like university prizes, whether people have done volunteering, whether they've done a university award or material like that. So the idea is it will be a richer picture of a student's sort of profile as a whole. The main important thing about this project is the HEAR is meant to be electronic. The idea is that the employers will sort of ask or request a student's transcript, be given electronically, and then that will come back. Now, currently there's only a couple of systems that allow this. Digitary is the main one that a lot of the pilot institutions have been looking at. But we've been working with Olive Don Limited to look at their Grad Intel process. So they have a piece of software called Grad Intel, which is trying to support employability in students, trying to get them to recognise the employability skills that they possess. So it's a sort of bit like building up a bit of an employability profile. The important thing about that is it has a separate e-transcript service. And we're working with them to try and actually make sure that e-transcript is compliant with HEAR specifications, and so we'll then be feeding back into the community towards the HEAR XML standard. The Grad Intel software is free for students and for universities. It's one of these, it gets charged to the employers. Now currently the transcript is only available to an employer who is registered as part of the Grad Intel sort of process, as part of that software. So what we need to make sure as part of this is that anyone from any employer can actually access the transcript that the student actually produces. So that's one of the things we're trying to open up as well. So yes, we're going to add to this the HEAR specifications. Part of the idea of this transcript is that a student can actually access and ask for it at different points in their sort of university career. So it's not one of these things that at the end of their period of study they get a transcript. The idea is that employers and students can actually access that earlier. A lot of employers have said they actually want to see students' transcripts at the end of year 2, not at the end of year 3. So the idea is a student can always interrogate the system, put in a request for a transcript, they get a secure token, and then that's the way that they can either see that, or an employer can come in and look at that if they've got permission to do so from the student. So they can see how their transcript is developing, rather than waiting to the end of the process and seeing it at the end. I will say I'm not from the technical side of the team, I'm from the teaching and learning side, so if I have any technical questions, I'll blank and I'll pass them on to someone else and I can get the answers for you. But I think basically that's the main idea. So we're working with the HEAR process. If any of you are here pilots, then the idea is we'll be helping to feed back into that process.